Hey guys, it's JonTaun from Total Brohammer, and as you can see, I have some goblin spider riders facing the wrong way. So, as you can see, I'm the Greenskins, and today I'll be fighting Jan on occasion as the Beastmen over here. So this is actually a game from a best of 3 we did on Italian Spartacus' channel, and I'll go ahead and link Janet's channel as well as Spartacus' channel in the description if you want to check them out. I suggest that you do. But I thought all the games that we played, me and Janet, in that best of 3 were really good, so I'm going to go ahead and cast them all and let y'all get my perspective on them in case you didn't see the matches on Italian's channel, or you just want to hear my perspective. So let's go over the army compositions real quick. I've got 2 groups of Force Goblin Spider Riders over here and 2 groups of Goblin Wolf Riders. I've also got 2 groups of Night Goblins, as well as the Ragnarok Queen. And as you can see, I was hoping that Janet might Vanguard up here, so that I'd be able to, you know, kind of surround anything that I Vanguard over here with the Night Goblins, as well as the Force Goblin Spider Riders and Goblin Wolf Riders. But for my main force, I have the Apic Loonies and the Warlord's Boys, as well as 2 Black Orcs, a Goblin Big Boss, 1 on a Spider, and another Goblin Big Boss, 1 on a Wolf, as well as Azag the Slaughterer with Spirit Leech and Fate of Vina. For my skirmish component, I do have the Mogrub's Major Marauders and Death Creepers. So we'll go ahead and pause it here, because the battle's about to commence. As you can see, Jan on occasion has 2 Synagores with great weapons, as well as some Poison Hounds here. And he also has another group in the other corner. He was expecting some Vanguard shenanigans, so he actually put both Synagores, not with throwing axes, but with great weapons and Hounds in the corners here. And the thing about these guys, if I put anything in the corners, he's fast enough to get in there and get me. And if I didn't, well, these guys are fast enough to get back to the battle before it actually begins. For his main line, it looks like he's got 5 Goreherd with shield, 3 Ungor Raiders, and 3 Ungor Spearmen herd. He's also got Morgar the Shadowgave here, as well as a Brave Shaman of Beast with Flock of Doom. Let's go ahead and kick in the gear. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see all these guys, and I got the numbers here, so I'm going to go ahead and crash in here, and Goblin Spider Riders are actually not as bad as you would think. So over here, the Goblin Wolf Riders are getting wrecked pretty hard, but the thing about the Force Goblin Spider Riders is they actually apply poison in melee, so yeah, they don't do too bad, and they make it so that things like Synagores can't actually get away. As you see, I'm moving my skirmish group over here to kind of surround these Synagores with throwing axes, as well as my Goblin Big Bosses. I'm moving the Night Goblins up, the Ragnarok Queen, and Azag the Slaughterer here, so you can apply some fear and terror. We got a Flock of Doom going down here, and I'm also popping the Wogs, so these Force Goblin Spider Riders have 66 melee attack here, and we are absolutely wrecking these Synagores with great weapons. So I definitely want to get all his armor piercing off the field, because I want you to know something here. My Ragnarok Queen has 150 armor, so a ton. And I see his army here, and notice that he doesn't have any armor piercing here. So I figure that I need to concentrate on the armor piercing in his army and get rid of that. As you can see, I got the Death Creepers and Mogrub's Mangy Marauders behind these Synagores' great weapons and the Hounds, and now I got completely surrounded. Azag's in here providing the Wog, and all these guys have jack stats, and these guys are just going to be feared and terrored by Azag here, and it's going great. So I have some Goblins here. I see he's moving his whole army over here to try to get all these guys while he can. So I'm just going to start pulling back here, and I have all my mobility over here, and I'll be able to pull away. And he also has nothing to pin down this Ragnarok thing, so I'm also going to pull out with that. Over here, he does get a charge into the Warlord's Boys, and actually does a lot of damage with all these guys. We got a little damage in return, though. But my Black Orcs are safe, so I'm pretty happy with that. So as you can see, I'm just skedaddling out of here. I don't want to have anything to do with his main army right now. I just want to get his mobility, and more importantly, his armor piercing off the field right now. So I have my Death Creepers and Mogrub's Major Marauders heading over to this side of the field, but they are supported by Azag, and I'm trying to get these guys off the field, but I do see his mobile squad coming over here. So right now, I'm going to summon out some spiders and try to get them on these archers. I'm not worried about the archer fire itself, because the Ragnarok Queen, of course, has 150 armor. So, yeah, that fire is pretty much going to do nothing to him, and I'm just going to pull her back as well as the Goblin Wolf Riders. As you can see, the spiders are going into these Ungor Raiders. Over here, I'm going to pop a Fate of Vina on these Synagores with great weapons. We're poisoning them, but they do actually catch up to us. I am going to try to get Azag here to try and stop this charge, but they do actually end up getting onto us, so I'm going to be pulling away. As you can see, the Fate of Vina is doing really great work on the Synagores with throwing axes, and Azag is going to be doing some good damage to the Synagors as well as all the range fire, as Synagors only have 35 armor. As you can see, my Spider Riders are on the way, and Azag's fear and tearing these guys off. So over in the main line over here, my Ragnarok Queen is fighting some Gore Herder's shield, but I'm going to be pulling it back soon here, and the main fight with the front lines hasn't actually started yet. And again, I'm still back over here just trying to get rid of all this armor piercing. He has got my Death Creepers routing here, and the Morgul's Marauders are taking a lot of damage too. But I'm willing to take that, just because if I get these guys off the field, there's nothing in here that's going to be able to kill this Ragnarok Queen. As you can see, he summoned some Chaos Spawn right here from some, looks like they actually summoned off the Spider Summon, so very interesting. But that's actually pretty good for me, because now they have to walk all the way over here, and they're actually losing health as they do that. As you can see, he's got a nice flock of doom here, and I'm going to start engaging across the front line. And my Black Orcs and the 8 Queenies will absolutely mash these guys up. Those Gore Herder shields aren't that great. So I got Azag over here, and he's providing that WOG to all these units. So these units that are usually very weak have just jack stats, and we are, not to mention his fear and terror is really helping. Gonna pop a Fate of Bino on these Synagors with great weapons, because I know they're going to come back. And indeed they do. Terrify these guys off, and now his armor-piercing core of his army is very weak. So over here, Janet does a great job. He's throws his Brave Shaman of Beast through the Black Orcs, and he's going to do good damage to them, as he does do armor-piercing and anti-infantry damage. I tried to get my Goblin Big Bosses on here, but Morgur the Shadow Glaive is actually going to intercept, and I'm actually getting some really good damage on him. But now we got that Chaos Spawn behind, and now those Chaos Spawn are going to go ahead and collapse on those Black Orcs. So over here, as you can see, we've done a great job at taking care of a lot of the armor piercing in this army, and Azag is in really good health, and overall, I put a lot less resources into that fight than his 4 groups of Synagors with great weapons and 2 groups of Chaos Warhounds with poison. But now he's moving over to this side, dropping a Flock of Doom here, really trying to take out these Black Orcs. And he's doing a great job at it, but these Black Orcs are no slouches, and they are getting a lot of kills on these lightly armored and non-armor piercing Gore Herder shields. So now he's just pulling what he has left of his armor piercing core around the back. I'm going to start doing some rear charges on these Black Orcs. I pulled these Goblin Wolf Riders through the thread right here, and also summoned some Spider Hatchlings, and we're going to go after these Ungor Raiders here. As you see, they're mobilizing now. Azag's on this one. Spider Rider's going to go for that one, but unfortunately he does have Ungor Spearman Herd, so they're going to take good care of these Goblin Wolf Riders. The Spiders are going to get into these guys, and I'm going to pull Azag out of here, as he only has 7 armor, so he's not going to be that great at taking all that archer fire. So I'm going to go ahead and have Azag pull over this way, hopefully provide some fear and terror, and as you can see, my Black Orcs in the front here have been terrified off and are indeed routing. But as you can see, the Goblin Big Bosses are now isolated, so they won't do so good, but they did a lot of damage to Morgur the Shadow Glaive. So he had this Chaos Spawn holding up my Ragnarok Queen the entire game, which was a really good move. But now I got the Ragnarok Queen in here, and this does not bode well. Morgur's already pretty low, and now here comes Azag the Slaughter over here. And now I'm going to pop the WOG. So these Goblin Big Bosses are going to be hitting like trucks. And let's go ahead and get a cinematic view in here. Now we got the Ragnarok Queen, we got Azag, we got 2 Goblin Big Bosses fighting, oh my gosh, look at this monster match here. And they're fighting these Chaos Spawn, these Gore Herd, and this almost dead Morgur the Shadow Glaive. He's in here somewhere. It's hard to tell with all the tentacles. There he is. But these guys all have jack stats because of the WOG. Let's see what the melee attack. Oh my gosh, the melee attack on the Ragnarok Queen is 119, so that's pretty insane there. However, he is getting some really good rear charges on these Black Orcs, but they are just standing resolute over here. And doing a really good job of just taking out these Ungor Spearman Herd and giving it back to these Synagors with great weapons. Because these Synagors with great weapons don't have the unit models they need to actually get rid of this. Unfortunately for me though, the Brave Shaman is going to come over here with that armor piercing and anti-infantry, and going to also drop a Flock of Doom. These guys are going to not fare so well pretty soon here. Summon some more Spider Hatchlings, and they are now into the Ungor Raiders. Also going to get Azag out of there because I don't want to take him too much damage. But at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about the battle. As you can see, he's chasing off my Death Creepers with the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and I'm bringing back my Night Goblins, and they're going to get into these archers. But I got the Ragnarok Queen going after Morgur the Shadow Glaive over here, and she'll be able to finish him off. And at this point, I mean, he's got quite a bit left, but he doesn't have anything that can kill this Ragnarok Queen. So without any Minotaurs or a Gorble, this Arachnarok Queen is just going to be able to go ham. And the Spider Hatchlings have been very useful this game. As you can see, the Ungor Raiders are fear and teared off. They finally got rid of those Black Orcs over here. And it looks like Morgan the Shadowgrave is routing here, so I'm going to send this Goblin Big Boss after him. And he's sending his armor-piercing squad, well, little he has. I mean, he's just got, what, 15 Synagors left. And they're going to be fear and teared off fast. And, oh, man, look at that. So much damage. Unfortunately, these Ungor Raiders come back. And this Goblin Big Boss gets caught on them. But I do send this Goblin Big Boss to go after Morgar and try to finish him off here. But at this point, I'm going to send Azag and the Arachnarok Queen here after his Brave Shaman, as well as Papa Spirit Leech. And look how fast he goes down. It's just ridiculous. And with him going down, there goes the game. And it's mass routes all around for the Beastmen. So what to take from this game is Goblin Spider Riders can actually be very useful. I suggest that if you ever bring Orc Boy Biggins, that you always pair them with the Goblins, the Force Goblin Spider Riders, as the poison lowers the stats, because Boy Biggins are actually have very low stats as far as anti-large cavalry go. But pair them with the Force Goblin Spider Riders, and they'll tank some of the damage, as well as apply poison, and make sure that the opponent cannot get away, because Boy Biggins are also very slow. So these guys are the gems of this match, and the way I found this out was someone used them on ladder against me. And they were very, very effective. So let's look at the kill counts here. We got Azag the Slaughter here with 101 kills, absolutely destroying those Synagors. Pretty great there. Black Orcs got 160 kills over here, no surprise being that they were fighting a bunch of low-tier infantry. The Force Goblin Spider Riders didn't get a lot of kills, as well as my Morgos Major Marauders and the Death Creepers, but they got important kills. And the Arachnarok Queen, 103 kills just in the monster match, just doing all kinds of stuff. Really, really great. So I'm really impressed with my army's performance here, and I think I played it very well. On Janet's side, as you can see, Synagors and Synagors Great Weapons got a lot of kills. Mostly on Force Goblin Spider Riders and Goblin Wolf Riders, and I do want to note that I'd probably skip the Goblin Wolf Riders in this matchup if I did it again, and just go with 2 more Force Goblin Spider Riders and cut something else somewhere. But Morker did okay, and his whole army didn't get too many kills because of the fact they were fighting Goblins that have poison, and Goblins perform pretty well against them, so there was also a lot of units to spread it between, so none of his units except the, well, these Ungor Spearmen Herd actually got a lot of kills. And this Brave Shaman of the Beast also got 96 kills, so pretty great. So a very good game to Janet on Occasion. Like I said, I'll be linking both Italian Spartacus and Janet on Occasion's channel in the description. And y'all feel free to check them out, because it was a very fun game. And I will be putting the other 2 matches up real soon. So y'all have a great one, and this is JonTaun from Total Brohammer, signing out.